Alright guys, so prior to the review part of this video, I'm going to do a live reaction to the latest Naruto opening. It's been a while since we've got a change, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this is. So here we go. Okay, we have a tree. Interesting. Alright, typical, Naruto logo there. Naruto and Sasuke on the sides. Of course, classic already. I like what she put in. Ooh, I like this transition. So it's kind of like giving the splits, like Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, Obito, and Sakura. I have purpose. Alright, Naruto there. Okay. His hand is wet. Oh, Hinata's hand is wet. I know why that hand is wet. Oh, tears. Now I feel bad for saying that. Ooh, that hand. Oh, Naruhina. I don't know. Okay, the song is chill. It's pretty chill. It's nothing like driving me crazy, but it's pretty chill. Ooh! Hashirama and Madara! Let's fucking go! Damn, I forgot, like, holy shit. Then Naruto and Sasuke again, okay. I mean, at the end of the day, that's been like, that's a staple at this point. Almost every opening is gonna have that. Kurama! Oh, all the Biju. That red face! Madara! And then this. Ooh, a lot of spoilers in this bad boy, I'll tell you that much right now. Sasuke. Kyuubi Chakra Mode Naruto. Alright, so, yeah. The visuals with this one, definitely very visually appealing. A lot of different things. Quite spoiler heavy, to say the least, with this opening. And it was very quick, I felt like I just sat here and said, hey, I'm going to listen to it and do a live reaction. So, it was pretty hype. Not, like, the greatest song in the world. I'd imagine, like, over time I'll probably, like, really get to enjoy it or something like that. But it was a pretty enjoyable opening. I really liked the visuals. The song was okay, nothing too spectacular. And yeah, definitely like it a bit more than, actually quite a bit more than the last opening already. And this is my first time around with it, because normally with me, I usually marinate a while. Maybe I won't like it, maybe I will like it, but I can already tell based on this one that I like it more than the previous one with this is definitely a lot more enjoyable. And yeah, so pretty cool opening. Gonna get to the review part right now. Finally, the filler is back to a very good bit. Filler hasn't been this good in a while. Like, the beginning of the filler, the Kakashi Anbu filler, was alright, then it slipped down, but with this episode, it is one of the best episodes of the filler, hands down. I love the message, and it's not until you're mostly through the episode where you understand the purpose of this episode. And even though it's advancing the story, but it also had a hidden message in there as well, and that definitely has to do with the theme, with the darkness. Danzo being in this episode didn't make me want to rip my eyeballs out, because he just wasn't annoying in this episode, and he served the purpose in this episode, and it wasn't just like Danzo fan service. Yeah, I said Danzo fan service. Because the main message of this episode, definitely in my opinion, is that Guy Sensei, pretty much he was wanting to be with the Anbu because he wanted to be next to Kakashi and pretty much understand him a little bit more and just be there for his friend. But the Anbu is not for everyone. It has this darkness, as Danzo proclaimed, and he's seen what it is within this episode. The introduction to Itachi Uchiha, the advancement of not only having the mission, but seeing how the Uchiha are pretty much like all sort of like a cult, and how they kind of have this grudge against the Leaf. So it definitely had a lot of content to it, and just the overall message that pretty much Guy, when he started off, he was like, I want to be in the Anbu, I want to be in the Anbu. Once he witnessed what went down and how the Anbu are pretty much supposed to be merciless, he was like, yeah, I realize I'm not suited for it, because, he asked the third Hokage, he told him, yo, you crazy, get out of here, you're not suited for that. And he asked Danzo's like, come on, move, peasant. But after the whole mission and what he's seen what happened with Itachi, what Itachi was doing, he was like, yeah, this is definitely not for me, I agree now. But it's also not for Kakashi, because he sees the good in his friend, and it's definitely like, the Anbu is a dark place, and it's not for Guy, but it's also not for his friend. That was one of the main messages I felt that this episode was trying to drive forward. And it just kind of shows that at 11 years old, Itachi Uchiha was a monster. He was like, a mission's a mission, bro. Stabbing their fucking necks. I'm like, what the fuck? Now, I will say something that is very awkward, and that's Itachi's voice. He's like 11 years old. Why the fuck is his voice deeper than mine? And he's 11 years old. But Kakashi and Guy, it wasn't until this episode that their balls finally dropped and they got their, adult voice actors. So I'm like, Why is that? Maybe they just love the actor. I don't fucking know. So that was a little bit weird. And we got like a time skip at the end of the episode. So I'm glad at least we're seeing the progression of time, even though like there's missions. And I'm like, God damn, this episode was so good. Why couldn't the past few like 4 or 5 episodes or whatever, where we had all this shit about Tenzo and everything, be as good as this? Like, this was some really good stuff. I'm like, yes, it takes Itachi Uchiha to show up and make a freaking great episode, have a great theme to it, and just overall, it really kicked ass. The only setbacks to this episode, I will say, is the animation and art was definitely not all that, especially in the beginning of this episode, and just as a whole, the art and animation was really not all that good. So, unfortunately, while at least it had good content, the animation wasn't really all that, so that's a downside to it. There were some bits where the art looked really nice. In particular, it was like these Itachi and Kakashi scenes, and it was just interesting to see finally where they met and how they met, and seeing the relationships between them. Because, like, you know, you always wondered, like, oh, how did they know each other? And we finally got a little bit of their interactions and everything, and it kind of makes you want to go back and watch the original Naruto when Kakashi sees Itachi there, and, you know, just all those connections and everything, and just like, oh, fuck, you know, that happened, this happened. It's like, shit, man, you know, it really makes you want to go back and see all that. Obviously, it's filler, but nonetheless, it's still interesting, nonetheless, to see the interactions between the characters. It was a nice little bonus as well that they added in that eternal Genin guy to the mission, because it was like, yeah, in the fillers, you know, he's been brought up a couple of different times. So to see him in the actual mission, it was a nice treat. And I would love for one day Kishimoto just to write him into the story, even if it's just the most fodder of fodder, like, you know, something is happening in the war and he gets killed or something, just to have him actually be canon, because I like seeing him. It's like, this is what Naruto would have been had he not become like this legend. He would have just been like some eternal Genin or something. And just seeing how the Uchiha clan was already advancing, we get to see a little bit of Shisui Uchiha there in the crowd with Itachi. It just all came together really nicely. This episode flowed very perfectly, and aside from the art and animation, everything about it was just very good. And I'm looking forward to next week as well, because next week we're going to see more of when the Uchiha were pretty much planning their coup d'etat, and how Itachi had to pretty much choose sides, and when the mission is brought to him, because we never get to see a lot of those bits in the main story, so it's good that we're going to see a lot of the ins and outs of what happened back then. And it's just overall, this episode is very good stuff. One of the best of the fillers that we've had in a long time. I'm going to give this episode definitely an 8 out of 10. Very good stuff. It was just like, yeah, it had a theme, it had a purpose, it introduced Itachi into the story. A little awkward with his voice being so fucking deep at 11, and Kakashi and Guy just got their deep voices, but YOLO, why not? As far as the ending goes, it's very interesting, because I would argue that this ending is better than the last ending in a certain aspect, because the visuals is just absolutely visually appealing. It's beautiful, it looks amazing, everything. Some spoilers in it as well, but the ending is just absolutely amazing, and it has a really nice upbeat song. However, I will say that the last ending is probably one of my all-time favorite Shippuden endings, because that is hands down the best representation you will ever get of Obito Uchiha, and pretty much his pain, and making you feel sympathetic towards the character. Because, you know, when you hear Wakatendayo, it really fucking brought it home. You see the visuals and everything, and just seeing how the world made him, you know, hate, you know, humanity and whatnot. And I'm going a little off topic, but I just want to say, like, the last ending, I overall enjoy it more. I would say this ending is better, and that's the difference between, you know, enjoyment and actual quality. I'll say this ending is better, but I just love the last one, because that is hands down the best representation of Obito Uchiha. And yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts of this episode. It was overall a very good episode. New opening, pretty chill new opening, like it better than the last one. This ending, I don't like it better than the last one, but it's better than the last one. Let me know what you guys think. First of all, were you impressed of how much of a monster Itachi is, just stabbing necks? Also, what do you think about the whole message with Guy pretty much realizing what the Anbu is? Like in the beginning, he's like, yeah, I want to join it. And then after he experienced it, he's like, this isn't for me. And you're right, I don't suit in there, but my friend doesn't either. What do you think? I definitely felt that was very powerful. And just the overall thoughts of just seeing this episode is just like one of the best of the filler that we've had in a while. I definitely feel as though it's like top, like from the beginning of the Kakashi Anbu till now, this is probably top 3 episodes for sure of this filler. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for Itachi Uchiha. At 11 years old, this kid was a monster, and he was just like, mission's a mission. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.